Welcome, my love, to Feminist Wellness. If you're new here, hello. I'm so glad you found your way to this space. Whether someone recommended this podcast or you stumbled upon it while searching for answers about why life feels so hard sometimes, I'm thrilled you're here. You're exactly where you need to be. This show exists for you, the thoughtful, brilliant human who's ready to get curious about why you might be hustling for worth, overgiving, overfunctioning, struggling to make decisions, to feel calm and at home with yourself. Together, each and every week, we'll explore why we think, feel, and act the way we do, and how to change the patterns that don't serve you at the level of your mindset and also the body. Here on Feminist Wellness, we dive deep into the psychology and somatics of emotional outsourcing, those sneaky thoughts like people-pleasing, perfectionism, and codependency that have you hustling for love, validation, and worthiness. And what is emotional outsourcing? Well, my darling, it is a term I came up with way back in 2012 and even trademarked because it's so good as an umbrella term for what we're doing when we have codependent, perfectionist, and people-pleasing habits. And I came up with it because none of the terms out there really felt like me while I was totally living in those ways. Emotional outsourcing is the chronic and unconscious survival skill habit of looking outside ourselves to feel safe, to belong, and to know we matter, our three core human needs. When we don't trust that we are inherently worthy, when we don't feel safe in our own nervous systems, when we're terrified of abandonment, we learn to outsource our sense of self to other people. We shapeshift. We anticipate other people's needs before they even say a word. We silence our own wants, needs, desires to keep the peace. And over time, we lose connection to our own knowing, our own authenticity, to our bodies, to what we truly want. And so when someone says, hey, what do you want for dinner? It's panic-worthy. But my love, it doesn't have to stay that way. Here, we combine science-backed tools with deep nervous system wisdom to help you shift those patterns. You'll learn to rebuild self-trust, connect with your body, and move towards balance and interdependence in your relationships. I'm your host, Beatriz. You can call me Bea, Victoria Albina. I'm a UCSF-trained family nurse practitioner. I hold a master's degree in public health, and I'm trained in somatic experiencing. And I have over a decade of experiencing practicing medicine, and I'm also a master certified life coach. I'm a total science nerd who's obsessed with evidence-based wellness. No snake oil, no pseudoscience, just real grounded tools that work. My work is rooted in neuroscience, polyvagal theory, while recognizing it's just a theory, psychology, and somatics, because I believe healing has to be both body-based and brain-based to create real, lasting change. I'm also an author. My book, End Emotional Outsourcing, Your Guide to Overcoming Codependent, Perfectionist, and People-Pleasing Habits, will be out soon, and I cannot wait to share it with you. This podcast is about so much more than fixing thought habits. Feminist wellness is about reclaiming your intentionality and your choicefulness. Two gifts you lose when emotional outsourcing runs the show. It's about reconnecting with your body through somatics, body-based practices, and nervous system regulation or balancing so you can make decisions from a grounded, embodied place, build relationships that are truly balanced instead of over-functioning or over-giving, step out of resentment, frustration, and disappointment and into more ease and authenticity. And so you can remember that you, yes, you matter. Your needs, your voice, your values matter. You'll hear me nerd out about nervous system science, polyvagal theory, somatic psychology, and how we can build lives of interdependence, where we're in connection with others without losing ourselves. My love, I want you to know this. You're not broken, and you don't need fixing. You've been doing your very best with the tools you've had. And this podcast exists to give you new tools. Tools to help you step into self-trust, regulation, and freedom. So hit subscribe, follow along, come along with me on this journey. And if you love what you're here, share this podcast with your friends, your group chats, your community, because healing isn't something we do alone. You can learn more about me and my work at my website, Beatriz, Beatriz, albina.com. And you can learn about my group programs like Anchor, the Somatic Studio, the Embodied Learning Lab, where we take these tools even deeper. My love, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for giving yourself the gift of learning more about you and how you work. And until next time, take good care of you. You matter. Hello, hello, my love. I hope this finds you doing so well. I have a couple pretty exciting things to share with you. If you're not following me on the gram, first of all, you're missing a good time. If you're like, I don't do social media, then don't. I mean, overarchingly, it's not great for your health unless you're really thoughtful about how you use it. And I post a lot of really helpful things there. A lot of like thoughts and things that come out of my coaching. You know, I coach in Anchored multiple times a week. And so there's a lot that comes up that you get to be privy to when you follow me there. So in order to tell you my gram, I got to make sure that you heard that I'm going by my first name now, which is Beatriz, Beatriz. So my Instagram's now my whole name, Beatriz Victoria Albina NP. And yeah, you can follow me there, follow along, and you can call me Bea. So we're leaving Victoria behind. I mean, it's still there, but I'm going by Bea, and I love it. It just feels so right in a way Victoria never really felt like me in English. I love it in Spanish. Vicky, Victoria. It feels really good in Spanish, but not so good in English. So, Bea it is. Yay. So that was A number one. B number two is the really big deal thing that changed not just my life, but Billy's life it's changed this whole household. And that's the addition of one gorgeously chunky cat. He's all black, like black nose, black lips, black beans, black fur inside his ears. Like his whole body is pitch black, and we're both witchy. And so he was a perfect fit. He was unhoused and he needed where to live. And we were like, excuse me, we would like that cat. And he is an absolute dream come true. I don't mean to be discriminatory to say that historically I am more dog aligned than cat aligned. I think I'm more of a dog, right? There's that like golden retriever kind of like, hi, how you doing? Do you want to be friends? Can I do anything for you? Can I get anything for you? And that like aloofness of cats, I don't know. I think it maybe would kick up a little, not like insecure attachment, but a little like, wait, where's the interdependence here? Maybe that's what I'm going to. Where's the interdependence? Whereas with dogs, it's like, whoa, all interdependence. You know what I mean? So I've had cats before, Idgy cat, Moxie cat, some of the best cats I've ever known in my life. Such great creatures, truly love them. But dog was my like ride or die. You know what I'm saying? And then I met Wade. So he comes when you call him. Our house is like a townhouse, this new apartment we're living in. So before we were in a ranch, which was really good for Ziggy, our Chihuahua, who has crossed into... Ziggy is no longer with us. May he rest in biting. And... But this is like a townhouse where it's smaller rooms and it's like vertical living, which frankly is amazing for our glutes. And we get like a bajillion steps, just like making a cup of tea. But he follows you. Like if you go from the living room or the kitchen, which are on the ground floor, to our bedroom, which is on the third floor, our offices are on the second, he follows you like a dog. His fetch game is it's not his strongest point, but he doesn't not fetch. And he like sleeps curled up. He slept on Billy's back all last night, just like curled up on her back. How dreamy is that? Anyway, I'm like deeply in love with this cat. And, oh, right, back to the gram. If you want to see his picture, Beatriz Victoria Albina NP. That's where you can find his photograph. I've been posting them to stories. I believe the term is obsessively, and he's in my feed too. We've been calling him Stitious because we're not superstitious, but we are a little bit stitious. My nerds. Am I right? You know I'm right. All right. So those are the big updates. That, and I'm going to Venice. My friend April Blake is turning 50. What's up, Dr. April Blake? And she has been a huge, oh, God, I love that woman. And I'm going to go celebrate her because why not? I had the miles. I know, how exciting is it to fly on miles? It feels like it's free. I mean, it is in a way. It's not, but it is. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm going to go visit Dr. Blake. I've got a new cat. The sun is shining and blue. The people in Anchorage blow my mind every day. I adore them in such a profound way. And yeah, that was a good update for me. We haven't had a little update in a minute. So let's segue and let's talk about something sneaky. Something that is perhaps shaping your entire experience of life. Your relationships, your emotions, your stress levels, your mood, and you might not even realize it if it's the soup you've been swimming in, and that is disembodiment. Now, I know, embodiment, the opposite, sounds like one of those like stupid wellness buzzwords that gets thrown around without much weight behind it because that's what has happened. Somatics got too cool too fast. As someone who's been studying it for over 20 years, I'm like, oh, you guys, slow your roll. In reality, the absence of embodiment, the experience of being disconnected from your body, is the unseen hand steering so many of our frustration, exhaustion, and overwhelm experiences. So what is embodiment? Well, it's the experience of being fully present in your body, of feeling your sensations, emotions, and inner cues in real time, instead of living from the neck up, disconnected from your physical self. It's what allows you to know, not just intellectually, but viscerally, when you need rest, when something isn't right, when a boundary's been crossed, when you're at your limit, or when you feel truly safe. Without it, you're left operating on autopilot, stuck in old survival patterns, living from your conditioning and your socialization, the stories in your mind, reacting rather than responding. And listen, my love, we don't lose connection with our embodiment by accident. It's a survival response. Many of us learned early on that being in our bodies wasn't safe, that feeling too much, needing too much, or expressing ourselves fully led to rejection, punishment, or overwhelm. Maybe you grew up in a household where emotions weren't welcomed, where being too sensitive was a liability. Maybe stress, trauma, or social conditioning taught you to prioritize logic and productivity over sensation and rest. In a world that rewards overthinking and overfunctioning, checking out of your body can feel like the only way to get through. And over time, this disconnection becomes automatic, shaping the way we relate to ourselves, to others, and to the world. When you're not fully in your body, life happens to you. You react before you even know what's happening. You overthink, you take things personally, you try to control everything because deep down your nervous system doesn't feel safe. You project your worst fears all over everyone you come across. You might not even realize that you're carrying this stress in your shoulders, your stomach, your jaw, but your body does, and it's trying to tell you something. So today I want to walk you through how disembodiment shows up in your everyday life, how it quietly fuels anxiety, self-doubt, exhaustion, and reactivity, and how the tiniest shifts in somatic awareness, body-based awareness, can start changing everything. So we'll start by talking about the hidden costs of disembodiment. And let's break this down into a few key ways that living from the neck up, detached from your body, creates struggle in ways that you might not even realize. These are like the buckets of areas where not being embodied seeps in, shaping the way you move through the world without even noticing it. Because how could you notice it? You're not present in your body. The irony, right? So let's start with automatic reactivity, the hijack effect. So have you ever had a moment where someone says something just the wrong way, and before you even realize what's happening, you snap back or you shut down? Or you fawn and smooth things over even when you're upset? This isn't just like having a short fuse or being sensitive. It's often a lack of embodiment that leads you to default to whatever your home training is, right? Right. When you're disconnected from your body, you don't have that built-in pause to recognize what's happening before you react. Instead, you're running a nervous system autopilot, responding from past emotions, not present reality. Your partner asks an innocent question, but your body reacts as if they're criticizing you. Your friend cancels plans, and before you even think about it, you're spiraling into, I must not be important to them. Without that deep somatic presence, you can't catch the reaction before it hijacks you. But when you start feeling your feet on the ground, notice the tension in your jaw, slowing down just enough to breathe. That's where choice comes in. That's where you get to respond rather than react. 2, the perfectionist spiral of never enough. When you aren't connected to your body, you also aren't connected to an internal sense of enoughness. There's no signal from within saying, this is good, this is complete, this is worthy, and so the chase begins, like a greyhound on the track. You push yourself, at work, at home, in your relationships, always doing more, proving more, trying harder, spinning in circles. Because if you stop, if you rest, your body has no reference point for what satisfaction feels like. And without that internal anchor, perfectionism takes over. There's always another thing to fix, another way to be better, another way you're falling short. Embodiment slows this cycle down. It allows you to feel what's enough, to recognize the physical sensations of completion, of rest, of accomplishment, without needing someone else's approval to validate it for you. 3, anxiety and catastrophizing, when the mind runs wild. So you know that feeling when your brain latches onto a worst case scenario and refuses to let go? It usually likes to spin around 3 a.m. You know when your thoughts spiral so quickly that you start feeling like a pit is opening in your stomach, your chest is tight and your breathing's shallow? That's what happens when anxiety runs unchecked, without the body's grounding presence to counterbalance it. See, when you're not tuned into your body, your mind takes over the whole show. I mean, somebody's got to. And the mind is not always the most trustworthy narrator. It throws out every what-if scenario it can think of, convincing you that you're on the verge of disaster. But when you practice somatic presence, when you drop into your breath, feel the weight of your body, sense your surroundings, your nervous system can begin to get the memo that you are, in fact, safe enough in this moment. And that can change everything. 4, personalizing. When you aren't connected to your somatic boundaries, you feel like an emotional sponge left in the sink sopping wet. You absorb the stress, frustration, and irritation of the people around you, assuming it's about you until you stink. Your boss is in a bad mood. Must be something you did. Your partner is quiet. Oh, they are definitely mad at you. Friend doesn't text you back fast enough. Well, listen, you must have said something wrong. When you don't have a solid, embodied sense of where you end and others begin, everything feels personal. But when you drop into your body, you can sense your own energy, separate from someone else's. You stop internalizing every sigh, every tone shift, every silence as something you need to fix or take responsibility for. And you don't make everything they do and say and think and feel about you, because it's not. 5, emotional outsourcing. Here's where emotional outsourcing and codependent habits creep in. When you're disconnected from your own sensations, it's easy to focus entirely on others, what they need, how they feel, whether they approve of you. If you're not somatically anchored, your sense of worth gets tied up in how well you manage other people's emotions. You might anticipate what someone wants before they even ask, overextend yourself to prevent their discomfort, or feel a deep unease when someone isn't responding how you hoped they would. This is the root of emotional outsourcing, believing that your safety, worth, and belonging are dependent on keeping others happy. But when you rebuild your somatic presence, when you feel your own needs and boundaries in your body, you stop outsourcing your emotional stability to everyone around you. 6, people-pleasing default. How often do you say, yeah, sure, to something before even checking in with yourself? How many times have you overcommitted, agreed to plans you definitely didn't actually want to do, or let your own needs take an absolute back seat because saying no felt too uncomfortable, saying no felt like conflict, saying no felt really scary? My beauty, people-pleasing thrives in disembodiment. If you can't feel your own somatic no, that gut-level contraction, that tightening in your chest, well, you bypass it because you didn't feel it. So why would you listen to it if you didn't hear it? But when you can feel it, when you learn to trust it, saying no stops feeling like a risk to your safety. It starts feeling like self-respect. And finally, everyday impatience. So think about the last time you were stuck in line at the grocery store, waiting for someone to text you back, or listening to your kid ask the same question for the 10th time. Did your heart rate pick up? Did irritation creep in? Did your whole body brace against the moment? Did acceptance fly out the window and you had something to say about what everyone else was doing or wasn't doing fast enough? These are the moments where embodiment changes everything. Because the impatience isn't about the line, the text, the kid's question. It's about how your body's holding tension and urgency without you even realizing it. When you bring somatic awareness into these moments, feeling your breath, softening your grip, grounding your feet, it's an important and vital first step in not fighting reality. And that one shift done over and over changes your entire relationship to stress. So, let's talk about the everyday practice of embodiment. And this is the deep and profound work that we do in the Embodied Learning Lab, my 12-week program. So if you're enjoying this and you're like, ooh, I want more, head on over to my website, beatricealbina.com, beatricealbina.com/thelab, L-A-B, to learn more. Here's the thing. Embodiment isn't just about deep meditation or breath work or somatic therapy. It's about how you show up in the most mundane, everyday moments. It's not the cathartic, it's the quotidian. Let me say it again. It's not the cathartic, it's the quotidian. Someone put that on a t-shirt for me, please. It's when you take that first sip of coffee or mate in the morning and actually taste it. It's when you feel your feet on the ground before walking into a room full of people and feel your whole presence there. It's when you soften into a hug instead of rushing through it. It's when you check in with your breath before saying yes to something you don't want to do. These small somatic shifts retrain your nervous system. They help you build the muscle of presence so that you're no longer at the mercy of reactivity, anxiety, perfectionism, or emotional outsourcing. But here's the key. It's not about forcing yourself to stay present all the time. That's just another form of control. It's about gradually increasing your capacity to be with yourself, to notice your body's cues without judgment, to meet discomfort with curiosity instead of avoidance. This is a process of deep repair, one that isn't about perfection, but about gently reawakening a relationship with yourself that's been dormant for too long. And the more you practice this, the more your entire way of being starts to shift. You begin to feel at home in yourself, to trust yourself. You move through life with more ease, more confidence, more resilience. And that, my love, that is the power of embodiment. I would be thrilled, honored, and delighted to be your teacher, to help you take your embodiment practice to the next level in the Embodied Learning Lab. Come, join us. It's really a blast. I'd love to see you there. All right, my beauty, let's do what we do. Gentle hand on your heart should you feel so moved. And remember, you are safe. You are held. You are loved. And when one of us heals, we help heal the world. Be well, my beauty. Mwah. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.